Hi, Preeta.
Hi, Kavya.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, Kavya.
Okay. Fine. Let's start the class. Okay. So, do you have any questions regarding the last class? Were you able to complete assignment without any issue?
Yes, Kavya. Yes.
Okay. So, no questions there, is it?
No.
Okay. Um, Preeta, do you have your instance open? If you want, we can work on your instance today, since nobody else has also joined.
Actually, Kavya, my instance, it got expired
Okay.
because
Okay.
of I was trying to open it now, but
Hmm.
that thing, but unfortunately, what I did also was lost. I totally forgot about that 10 days
Okay. Okay.
in
Yeah, that is
tomorrow. Sure, yeah, I'll
okay,
open
sure.
my instance before
Okay,
the session.
okay, okay. Let me share my screen then. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Okay, so my ServiceNow instance is visible, right?
yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So we were discussing about roles, users, and groups in last class, right? And also a little bit about dictionary.
Yes.
So today we'll go to dictionary and then we'll also work on form layout and list layout, okay? Let me open users table. Okay. So first of all, you see different fields here, right? User ID, name, email, active, created, and updated. So these
Mhm.
are all different fields. So if I open the form, I can see even more fields here. I can see department and language, mobile phone, business phone, but those fields are not available here. Whereas created and updated is there here, but it is not available here, right? That is because those fields have not been added to list layout and form layout. Okay, so to add any fields to your list layout, like if you want any fields or which is present in this user table to be added in the list layout, what you have to do is you see the gear icon here, right? So personalized list. So you just have to click here. So once you click here, you can see this is personalized list columns. So here you can add the fields, okay, whichever you want to display in the list view. So you can see these are the fields selected. So that is why these are the fields you are able to see in the list layout. So what you can do is you can add any field. So you can see more fields are there here, right? So I mean more fields compared to what we have in form view. So it just means like we have all these fields in the user table, but only few fields are added on the form and the list. Okay, so you can add rest of the fields also. Like for example, I'll add company, cost center, country code. Okay, so you know this is a slush bucket, right? So you can like adding and removing the fields is called slush bucket. So I'm just adding it to the slush bucket and few more fields. Okay, so whichever fields you want, you can add it here. And say, for example, you want this field to come in the top. Okay, this should be your first column. Then what you can do is you will just select this field. Like if you just point it to something, it will select the field. Okay, so I'm just selecting this field and I can move it up or down. Okay, so in case you want any field to be displayed as first, second, or somewhere in between, you can do it like this. You can just select and move it up and down. You can do it for any fields. Okay, and then once you have done that, you can just click on OK, and this will save the form. So here you can see, if I just scroll to my right, I can see all the new fields which are added here. And now I'll go here again. So once I have personalized my list, so this personalized list is specific to one particular user. Okay, so there could be multiple users who are using ServiceNow, right, in an organization. Like there could be thousands of users. So this personalized list is something which is personal to single user. So I can add how many ever columns I want, and it will be only in my instance. Okay, suppose you are logging into ServiceNow in the same organization, you won't be able to see all these additional fields which I have added. Okay, because I have added this to myself, not for everybody else. So in case you want to make it global, right? um okay, then what you can do is you can click here column options, and then here configure, and here configure list layout. So here you can see these are the fields which were initially visible, right? Only these columns were visible first. Later I added. So if you do configure users list, then you will be able to add all the fields to all the users. See here you can see the view name is default view. So by default, if any user is accessing the default view, they'll be able to see the fields you are adding here. Okay, so here also I'll add few fields. And once I have done that, I'll save it. Okay, so now say for example, you have personalized your list. Okay, this is your personalized list, but you want to go back to the default view. Okay, default view in the sense how it is configured for all other users. Then what you'll do is again you click on update personalized list, and here there is something called as reset to column defaults. Okay, so if you don't see this option, it just means that your view is already set to default columns. Okay, if you see this button, it means it is not a default. What you have is not default, and it is something which is personalized. So if I click on reset to column defaults, then it will remove all the fields which I have added, and it will show me the default view. So any questions here?
No, Kavya.
Okay. So this is about configuring the list layout. Similarly, in form also we have form layout. So I'll just go here and configure. Here you see form layout. So there what you saw was list layout, and here what you see is form layout. So I'll go to form layout. So form layout is not something personal, okay? So in list layout, you saw there was personalized list option and also default configuration for all users. But in form layout, there won't be something called as personal form view. Okay, it will be same for all the users. So if you are adding some field somewhere, it will be visible for all the users. So I'm just adding country code here and maybe city also. Okay, so I have added it here. So now I don't want it here. I want it under active. So what I'll do, I'll just move it up. Okay, I have it under active now. And this also, I want it under country code. So I'll move this also. Okay, now I'll save this. Okay, so now you can see I have added the country code and city under active. So that is what you can see. So even if any other user from the organization is opening a user record, then they'll also see the same fields. Okay, it won't be different for them. And now we have something called as form design. So form design is nothing but, let's go to form design. So here what you can do is, say for example, you want it in single column. Okay. So this you see this in two columns, right? So that is because here we have for this particular section, we have selected it as two columns. So that is why you can see the fields in two columns. So say I select it as one column and I'll save this. Now if I refresh, I can see all the fields in single column. Okay, it's not divided as two separate columns. Now I can change it back to two columns. And now after I change it to two column also, see it is asking me to drag and drop here, like whatever columns, whatever fields I want under my right side, so that I can drag and drop. So to drag and drop, what you'll do is you'll just you see this icon, right? So you will just click on this and then you will drop it here. Okay. And then here also, I'll just click and then I'll bring it here. And then title. So if you want to bring it in between also, you can do that. Okay. Or you want to do under, you can do that as well. So here form design is nothing but you're just, designing how the form should look like, right? So that is what you're doing here. I'll add few more fields here. And as I said, this is also for all the users. Whatever configuration you make in form design and form layout, it is for all the users and not just for you. Okay, so if you are making any changes, you have to keep in mind that it will be reflected for like to the whole organization and not just for you.
Kavya, one question.
Yeah.
Only for system admins, they will have access to do form design and
Yes.
form.
Yeah, that's right. Correct. So only for list view, as I said, this personalized list, right? This access will be available for all ITIL users. So there are three different roles. One is administrator, and then one is ITIL role, and then the other one is SNC internal access. So let's just go to roles. I'll explain what are the difference between each of them. Okay. Hmm. Why am I not able to search here? Okay. I think I have done something to my user profile. Maybe that's why I'm not able to see. Uh, I'll explain this tomorrow. Just remind me. Okay, so there are three roles. One is ITIL role, and ITIL role is nothing but the basic license of service now. Okay, if user has ITIL role, what they can do is they can, do this global search here, and they can view most of these modules and application. Like most of these options, they'll be able to view, but still they won't be able to modify the form layout and all. Okay, but still like basic access they'll have. And then SNC internal role, it will only provide them access to ServiceNow, and then something whatever they have under self service, that's all. No other options will be visible for them, and they'll not be able to view this global search option as well. Whereas admin users, they will be able to access everything. Okay, like they can modify form layout, they can create dictionary entries, like, or and they'll be visible. I mean, they can access almost all the options here. Okay, and if they have system administrator role, so if I go here, elevate role, there is, yeah, security admin. So if they have security admin role, then they'll be able to do anything in ServiceNow. Okay, like whatever the highest level of access is security admin. Okay.
Okay, Kavya.
Okay. So now, yeah, I can, this is how I configure the form design. Okay. And here also, we have default view, workspace. Like these are all different views. Okay. So default view is nothing but by default, whatever view you are seeing. So here, if you go here, you can see you have view. You can select different view. View is nothing but, how this is presented in some other place. So there is something called as workspace also in ServiceNow, and portal also. Okay, so maybe this user record may not be user record, maybe some incident. Okay, for example, the incident can be viewed from service portal also, right? So if you are seeing it in service portal, how you will see this record? So that is called as service portal view. And as I said, end user, right? Only the users who doesn't have ITIL role or admin role, so they are end users. I mean, they'll be able to see only the options which is present under self service. So if they are accessing any record, they'll see the records in self service view, and the ITIL users will see in ITIL view, right? So if I select self-service view, I'll be able to see these fields at the minimum number of fields. Okay, like the number of fields which should be enough to get basic idea about this form. Okay, so that is nothing but self-service view. Here you can see the view is also self-service. So this is how you will see view is nothing but you can select. Okay, like for uh, when this particular view is selected, what all fields should be visible, that's all. So you can also make use of this in, say for example, there are multiple teams which are using this user table, okay, user record. So now for few teams they want some additional fields on the form, but for other teams they don't want those fields. So what you can do is you can create a new view for that one particular group, and you can add all those fields there. Okay, so when they are accessing, they'll access it under this particular like new view, and for rest of the users they'll see the default view. Okay, so that is where the view can be made use of. See, I can create a new view here. So I'll click on new. Okay, discard them. I'll discard them. Okay, so it is asking me for view name. So for view name, maybe I can give as hardware. Okay, so maybe hardware team if they are accessing these, or maybe HR. Okay, so if HR team is accessing this, they'll use the HR view. Okay, so they'll know that they have to use HR view to get all the fields which they want to see. So now I'll select, and for HR view, what I want, that I'll configure here. I'll make it as 2 column, and maybe I'll add additional fields also. So even if you're adding some fields from here, right, you just have to drag and drop. You will just click here and then you will just drop it here, okay, wherever you want. See domain, like whatever fields I want for HR view, that I'll select and drag and drop. Then VIP, and then name, yeah, manager. So you can see I can make all these changes and it will be visible only for HR view. Okay, so here also I'll bring department here. Okay, and what else? So presentation is also important, right? Like if you see any column, if the form has 2 columns, then it looks good if the same number of fields are available on either of the columns. So that is what we are doing now. We are just making the number of fields in both the columns same. And say you want to remove some fields, you can just click here. Okay. If you do this, it just removes the field. And those fields will be available this side, here to your left side. Okay. So I don't want this also. I'll remove this. Okay, this should be fine. So now I'll just save this. So we have created the HR view. Okay. See, if I go to view here, you don't see HR view here, right? So if I refresh this form, now I can see HR view. So if I select HR view, I can see different fields available there. These are all the fields which we configured just now, right? All of these are visible now. And then I can select it default view. Yeah, so this was my default view. So any questions regarding views?
No, Kavya.
Okay, so this is about form design. Okay. And also you can create new sections here. Okay, so you see only one section here, right? That is user section. And then we see related links, and then we see related list. So say, for example, I want one set of fields to be under one section. So that also I can do. What I can do is I can go to configure form layout. So here you see section. Section user is nothing but the what you saw right now, right? All the fields were present under user section. So I'll create a new section. So this I'll give as basic info. Okay. So now I have the basic info section. So now what I'll do, save the changes. Yeah, I'll save. Okay. So if I click on user section, yeah, so this is the user section. I can see all these fields. Okay, so if I go to basic info section. I don't see any fields there. It's taking some time to load. Okay, so for basic section, there are no fields. So I can add any fields I want here under basic section. Okay, we have so many. So maybe I can, let's just go here. So these are all fields which are available. Oh, why don't I see? Okay, fine. Okay, I'll save it for now. So you can see I have added these fields under basic info. Okay, basic info is a new section. So maybe I don't want these fields. Instead, I want, basic information of the user to be under basic info section. So again, I'll go to form design. So see, I don't want this, right? I'll just remove them. Instead, I want email. Yeah. So I want email, and then what else? I want department. And I want this business phone, mobile phone. Okay. And also we'll make this 2 column. Okay. So now we'll save this. Okay. So once that is done, I'll refresh this. Now I should be able to see 2 columns and also new section. See, new section called basic info, and under basic info, I can see these. So this basic info also, I can change them to 2 new columns. See here also I have 1 column, 2 column option. I'll make it as 2 column, and here I'll add few fields here. And I'll save this. See, now I have 2 columns here also. So this is how you make use of form design and then form layout and also list layout. So again, when we come to form layout, right, configure form layout. From here also you can create new field value. So I think I had explained that in previous class as well. So if I am creating any new field value here, again, it will be entered in the dictionary. Okay, so here I can see create new field. So my field name will be Okay, country code, country name I'll give. This will be my field name. This will be my field type. So here we have so many field types. I can select any one. Okay, string, I'll select a string only. And then if I click on add, it will get added to the bottom. Okay. So to the bottom of whichever section I have selected. So you see I have selected user here, right? User section is already selected by default. And default view is already selected by default. So if you want to change the view, you can change the view and maybe add it there. And if you want to add it on one particular section, that also you can select. So say I select basic info, then I should be able to see the basic info fields. Yeah, so these are the basic info fields. So here I can add new field here, right? So what do we add here? Department, building number. Okay, so I have added here. Again, you can change it up or down wherever you want. So you see the split here because this is split into two columns, right? This is one column and this is the other column, right side and left side. So that is why when you select two columns, by default, you will see split here. And if you want to add split, you can add it from here as well. It should be somewhere in the bottom. Yeah, here you can see split, there is begin split, there is end split. So you can try all of these options also. Okay, so you can add multiple fields there, and then you can give begin split, end split, and this split and all you can give, and you can check what is the difference you will see there. Okay, like how differently it looks. So for now I'm just saving this form. Okay, so this is done. See, building number is the new field which I gave, right? I can see that field here. So you can create fields from form layout as well, or you can create directly from dictionary also. From dictionary, how do you go to dictionary from this table? You will go here, go to configure, and here you have dictionary. So this will open the dictionary which belongs to user table, right? So backend name of user table is sys_user. So this opens all the dictionary entries of user table. So if I want to create a new field, I'll just click new here. Type I'll give as true or false. Column label I'll give as test field for now. See, once you enter the column label, column name will be auto-filled, okay? And there also in form view, when you create a new field, right? It did not ask you to give the column name. Everything is entered in the backend only. Like it will autofill all other details. You just selected the column label there for new field, right? I'll show it again. When you create a field from dictionary, you will have more options, whether you want to make that field as read only, or there are multiple options here. If you want to give any default value or choice list specification, like you can give multiple customization you can do here. But whereas if you create in form layout, then this is all you get here. You can just select the field length, field type, and then just give the name. So this name is nothing but the column label. Okay, it's the same. And this is autofilled, right? Column name is anyway autofilled. so that the system will select by default. Okay, and everything else will remain blank or with the default value. Okay, so that is the difference between creating field from the form view, form layout, and creating it from the dictionary. So here table is also selected as user because I opened the dictionary entries of user table and there I clicked on new. Suppose I go to dictionary from here. So this will display the dictionary entries of all the tables, right? See, you don't see any filter condition here. So now if I click on new, it will not auto select the table. It will ask me to select a table. See, table is also editable here. So that means I have to select table. Okay. But here it is already selected and it is read only also. I can't change this. Okay, I can change this. Okay, fine. But it is by default selected as user table. Okay. So you understood what is the difference between creating dictionary entry from here and then dictionary entry of that particular table and also from form layout, right? Any questions so far?
No, Kavya.
Okay, fine. Okay, so we'll just cancel this. So I was creating the test field, right? I'll just submit this. So I have the new field created. Okay, so my new field is created, but it won't be added anywhere. Oh, test field, it is added. Okay, so by default, it will be added under at the end, form layout. Okay, so you can see that test field will be, the new field will be added at the end by default. So even here also, if I create any field, right, just I'll add test. If I create any field, this also by default will be added at the bottom of the bottom of this slash bucket. Okay, you can save, or if you don't want this, you can just remove from here. This also I don't want it, I'll remove and I save it. Okay, so that is all about form layout and list layout and also form design. Any questions?
No, Kavya.
Okay, so I'll give the assignment of whatever we discussed today, right? And then if you have any questions when you do your assignment, you can just let me know tomorrow. Your assignment will be, okay, to add, open any table. Okay, a user table. In user table, add two new sections. Two new sections, that is employee info and department. Okay, this will be your two new sections which you will add, and then under each section you have to create new fields. Okay, so the fields can be anything. You can give say for example, for employee info we already have gender and all, right? You can give joining date. So joining date will be date type of field. Okay, that you have to keep in mind. Joining date, and then employee type, whether it is a full-time or part-time, that will be employee type. It will be a choice field. And then what else can we give for employee info? Okay, location, whether he's working from home or office building. Okay. So this is again, okay, let's just remove this location. I'll give as work from home. So this will be a true or false type of field. That is just a checkbox. Okay. Did you get my message? Yeah.
I'm getting it, Kavya.
Okay. Employee info and then department, right? So under department is organization name, and manager, and department number, and cost center. So cost center and manager, these are all fields which are already available. Okay, which are already available in ServiceNow. So that will be reference field. Cost center also will be reference, and manager also will be reference. Okay, and organization name will be string or text box, and department number also will be text box. Okay, so you have to do these, and also these sections should have two columns. Okay, two sections you're adding. Okay, two sections you're adding, and both these sections should have two columns. Okay, and also this should be all these entries, I mean all these changes should be done for a new view. Okay, so you have to create a new HR view, and you have to make all these changes for HR view. Okay. Fine, Preeta. So you can complete this assignment today, and tomorrow if you have any doubts regarding this assignment, you can just let me know at the beginning of the class. We can go through that first, and then we can continue with the class.
Okay, Kavya. Yeah.
Okay. Fine then. We'll close the class now. Okay. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Bye.